I'm Jeff Glass, and I chair the Church Administrative Council. I just wanted to give a brief update on the selection process for our next pastor. We have met with the staff parish group. The staff parish is the kind of the HR committee of the church. Michelle Cobb, our district superintendent, has had a number of meetings with us to explain the process and how that is done. We've also met with Bishop Trimble. As you can imagine, he cannot be involved in every church that's in transition, but he committed to working with us at ZUMC to help us through our process, so we felt pretty good about that. And we have given Michelle and the bishop a list of probably 6, 7 things that we think are priorities of the church and also key attributes that we'd want to have in a pastor. And they have since been meeting on that. I would expect probably an answer in the very near future on who our next pastor should be. Now, with that said, I did want to talk to Glenn just a second about the many stories that we've heard during this whole process. Very positive things that he's had an impact on the church, but also on people individually. And we have a few things for him, so we'd like to maybe, Glenn, if you can come on over, and Don Barrett. Don is our, yes. Don is our chair of the staff parish group that I mentioned earlier. And while we were talking and figuring out what we wanted to do, we had the opportunity to go through a lot of pictures, hundreds of pictures that people gave us, and put together a bit of an album. And I put up, there's probably over 100 in here, but there's 6 that I bring up today just to kind of give you an idea of Glenn's commitment and also learning points. The first one you see is Glenn's first day in front of the church. I think that's him getting the introduction. And then the second one, I think we said earlier, was one of Glenn's key learning points. This was messy games with the youth. And during that time, he found his way into the mud pit.
Yes.
And I pointed out that that was Eric Wheatholder that kind of put him in there. And I asked you what your learning point was out of all of that.
Yes, and my learning point, well, first of all, never be near a weed holder. Of course, that's the main one.
We pointed that out.
But then I guess the joyful learning point was that I learned how to get in and out without breaking my leg, which Erica Lewis a year or 2 later broke her leg in the mud pit. So I feel like I did really well.
Yeah. So you being a quick learner, I think the next picture has you with your granddaughter on your shoulders. Same mud pit, but much wiser. And so he stood back and had a small child. That kept him out of the mud pit for the rest of your time.
Yeah, I kept that granddaughter close because I knew there'd be liability issues if she went in.
Yeah. The next picture is you in front of, I think on the 175th anniversary of the church. We, of course, had the service in the village, and that's you delivering the message on a beautiful day. And then the next event was you in Israel. Now, I said in the first service there was 2 learning points I got. One was 3 guys on this platform, make sure you don't fall off. And the other was you don't baptize people in the Jordan, you reaffirm their baptism.
Oh, Jeff, you are the best person ever. Yeah. Thank you very much.
So I got that theology lesson this morning. And so that was a significant event in a number of people's lives. And then finally, the 60 for 60, a very successful, very unique Glenn Howell fundraising event. And quite a bit of work by you, Glenn, getting ready for that and then taking the ride around the Upper Peninsula. And so we wanted to give you this album.
Thank you very much.
And then also, Don, you wanted to...
Thank you, Jeff. Also, the blanket ministry was kind enough to make a blanket to send Glenn off with. As I said earlier, it's a blanket to protect you, Glenn, as you leave us.
Thank you.
As the staff parish chair, I also want to say thank you for everything you've done for us. We have come so far in your under your tutelage and leadership. So thank you so much. Also, I want to thank for the reception we had between the services. Sue Glass headed that up with my wife Marita's help, so thank you to them. Didn't want to forget that. So, but thank you, and God bless you in everything you do moving forward.
Well, thank you. And first of all, had I known there'd be so many cookies, I would have dropped hints about my leaving many months ago. But that was really great, so I do appreciate that. And just from me to you as two people in leadership, and to all of you, thank you. This has been a marvelous experience in my life, just an incredible 7+ years here, and God has given me many gifts through this congregation, and I am very, very thankful. So thank you all very much for all of the time and ministry that we got to do together.
Well, thanks for being part of our lives and for being our pastor.
You bet.
All right.